What's up, Go fam? Hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Today, I'm going to be going over how to set up GOAT AutoPilot copy trading for Tradovate brokerage connections. So, what's the difference between our custom in-house copy trader and the Tradovate brokerage group trading? So, the difference is that you have a simplified version of not having to divide the different contract amounts to each individual account, where you had to do for group trading and Tradovate. Instead, we individually send those signals to each individual account. So if you send 2 contracts to one account, it'll go 2 contracts to another account as well. So let's dive right in and show you how it works. So first, I'm going to go launch our Tradovate brokerage. If you have watched a previous video on how to connect GOAT AutoPilot and your Tradovate brokerage, this should be already be done. Start simulated trading. I hit show here. There we go. Then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a test copy group trading account so that we can basically group the accounts that we want to execute together. So I already created one here, but I'm going to delete so I can show it for example purposes. All right, and I'll name this tests copy. There we go. Hit OK. I'm going to drag my accounts over that I want to trade to. I'm going to drag 2 so I can show you 2 accounts. Hit save. All right, the group is saved now. So you even need to select the group to execute. So don't worry about that. So now we're going to go with strategies here. I'm going to show you here. All right, I'm going to add strategy. I'm going to do test copy. There we go. Select the broker. Tradovate is our broker. Select the account. So we're going to select that account group that we created. So it was test copy that we created. I'm going to select the contract. So I'm going to do MGC here, for example. I'm going to do API only. Just do API only. So that's the best way to do it. So API only. So this is our custom in-house right here. How it execute is via API only. If you do DOM only, you have to revert to the group trading with inside of Tradovate. So how it works normally. But if you're doing API only, you're using the custom in-house copy trader. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it to 2. So it's going to execute 2 contracts to each individual account. So this account's going to get 2 contracts and this account's going to get 2 contracts. Before, if you do basically the DOM only and you have to activate the test copy for group trading, I'll show that. You execute 1 here and 1 here because it divides the contracts 1 each, basically, because you have the quantity in here set to 1. But since we're using our API only in our custom in-house copy trader, you don't even need to touch this. You only have to touch this right over here for the in-house copy trader. But if you're using DOM only, you have to set the quantities in here to see what you want to divide each into and all that sorts, and the number of contracts. So if you want to do 2 each, you have to increase this to 4 in quantity multiplier and just leave this at 1. Just set this to 4, and it will divide 2 each to each account. But I'll show that in later on in the video. So I'm going to close this. So we already have the copy trader. Yep, there we go. All right, we already create. I'm going to create the strategy, turn it on. It is on. Now I'm going to go to signal tests. There we go. We're going to do test copy. Yep, there we go. Test copy. Then I'm going to execute a signal.
Order filled.
There we go. As you can see, we have 2 accounts copy traded to each individually. So we have this one, 2 contracts as we put it in our strategies. And then we also have 2 contracts as we put it in that strategy as well. So now I'm going to exit the position here. And exit open position. Here we go. And it automatically flattens all for us. There we go. Looks very simple. So nothing very difficult or strenuous about that. Our copy trader works. So if you want to execute probably like 4 contracts each to each account, you can increase that to 4 and stuff like that and all sorts. But let's say you want to use the DOM only, right, for basically Tradovate. Please be cautious of this if you're running DOM only. So you have to make sure that you set the right contract in here to be executing to. So since I'm executing to MGC, I'm going to set MGC here. And then I'm going to also set to my right account copying. So I'm going to use test copy right here. There we go. So that's test copy. So that means it's group trading now. I'm going to set to 2 here. So remember how group trading works. If you do 2 here, it's going to put 2 orders in there, execute 2, but it's going to divide it to 2 each. So we did that. It's all set. Update. So now, signal test. I'm going to do a test spot here.
Order filled.
There we go. So now each individual account is executing 1 contract each. So if I uncheck here, as you can see, each individual account has only 1 contract each. There we go. Versus our in-house where it gives it 2 contracts each. So you can control the quantity size per each account easily with inside our custom in-house with the API one. With this one, you have to basically calculate how many contracts per each account you have to do. Where in ours, you don't have to do that at all. So there you go. That's basically how you set up the copy trading there. I'm going to flatten all the positions here. So it shows you.
Order filled.
There we go. It flattens. Just make sure, though, if you're using the DOM execution, you check on your test copy account group so that you can execute basically the copy trading across. If you're not using the DOM execution, you can use the API. You don't even need this check on. You just have to make sure that you select the right test account group within here so that you can execute to all your accounts that you need to execute, and then you can set the number of contracts in there without having to go dividing up the math and everything for that. On top of that, please make sure if you're on DOM, the ultra fast execution, also make sure that you set the right contract within here if you're executing to that, because if you don't, I'm going to do an example right now for you. So I have it set to, let's say I'm going to set it to MNQ, and I want GC, so I'm going to set it MNQ here, for example. There we go. I set it to MNQ. This is on DOM only, update strategy. So I want to set execute to GC only, but since you have it, oh, sorry, that's multi-bracket order. I did not mean to do multi-bracket order right there. I think I have that enabled. There we go. I'm going to do signal test here. Do execute test signal. Oops. Oh, that's why. Oop, I'm turning that off. There we go. I'm going to do execute test signal.
Order filled.
As you can see, it execute on MNQZ. So you got to make sure you set the right contract in there to ensure that you have not actually execute on the wrong
Order
contract.
filled.
So yeah, that's basically how to set up the copy trader on Tradovate. I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.